Hi everyone, welcome to the Choose Lincoln Virtual Open Day on Saturday. I'm not sure what the date is. My name's Ellie Sample and I'm one of your Live Lounge hosts today, and with me is...
I'm Emma Jubbs, so welcome and hello to the University of Lincoln.
Yes, welcome, and we're here to welcome you to the University of Lincoln if you're going to be joining us to start the next part of your adventure this autumn, or if you're going through adjustment or clearing at the moment and you want to ask us some questions, you can ask us lots of questions which we will answer live. So please do just type them into the comment section or just say hi. Emma and I are here to talk to you today and to tell you a little bit about the University of Lincoln. We're a top 20 university. We're a TEF Gold university. We're a 5-star rated. We are in a beautiful city called Lincoln, which is amazing and a great place to live and study. And you can see some of that city behind me. But before then, Emma, where are you today?
So I am on campus also, and I am located in the Isaac Newton Lecture Theatre. So in the Isaac Newton building, which houses our maths, physics, computing, engineering sort of students. This is our biggest, our largest lecture theatre. In normal circumstances, you would be here 10 o'clock receiving a welcome from one of us. I'm here on my own today, but hopefully you can see how brilliant and how lovely it is here.
It does look amazing, and normally we'd be having breakfast at this time with our guests, so I'm really sorry you're not here to join us for breakfast. But the Isaac Newton building, so called after one of Lincoln's most famous sons, Isaac Newton, is that right, Emma?
That's right. Isaac Newton himself was from Grantham in Lincolnshire, and to commemorate that, we have part of his famous apple tree planted just literally at the front of this building. So, it is quite a unique sort of building, really. And as I've said, houses our physics students, so very aptly named, I would say.
Exactly. If you're looking for inspiration, you can go and sit under the apple tree and hope that the apple falls on your head and you have a good idea. Although it's not happened for me yet, I have to say. Now, Emma, today's a really special day. We're so excited because it represents for us the most exciting day of the year, in that we know who our students are in terms of coming to us and who will be joining us for the next stage of your adventure. And here at Lincoln, we're getting ready for that. But before we talk about the autumn and what the new term will be like, Emma, can you talk us through the agenda today, what's going to be going on, what people can do and how they can find out more about the university?
Absolutely. So we're here until 12 noon. So you've got 2 hours of chat, which is, as you'll be pleased to know, won't just be myself and Ellie. And we are going out and visiting other people. So on campus today, we have our accommodation manager, Ben Ball, and Ben will certainly be able to give you some tips, top tips for parents, top tips if you're unsure, you're changing. Lincoln wasn't on your agenda until Thursday. Ben will point you in the right direction. So we're going to see Ben. We're going to meet 2 of our alumni community. So 2 students that have very recently graduated from Lincoln. Chi-Chi and Marvin. They're both located across campus, and they can tell us about their experience of being a student at Lincoln. And then finally, and by no means least, we're going to visit our SU leaders, so a couple of our student leaders.
It is a really exciting day.
Very exciting. And whilst that's all going on, you can, as Ellie has said, on the side, you can ask us any questions, comments. Actually, it could probably at the bottom. And also, we have a team of experts. So if you're interested in a course, you want information about the course content, then we have a chance to have some one-to-one. So you can book your place at the bottom of this screen with an academic. There's also people from wellbeing, confidential conversations, and our team of general experts if you just have a general question about university or the journey.
And there's an information zone as well. So do click on the information zone. You can watch some videos, see a 360-degree tour of the city, and you can see probably already that the University of Lincoln is quite unique in that we're a campus, a big campus university, but right in the heart of the city. So at the moment, I've taken over the Vice-Chancellor's office. Our Vice-Chancellor is Professor Mary Stewart, a really inspirational woman who's done some amazing things. And hi, Ahmed. Hi, really nice to see you. You do need to join, and we are here to help. The most important thing for you to do, Ahmed, is to ring our adjustment and clearing helpline. And the number is 0808 164 4444. Thank you, Darren. That's 0808 164 4444. So, Ahmed, give us a call, have a chat to us, and we'll do our best to help you and see what support you need at the moment. So we're right in the centre of the city of Lincoln. It's literally a 15-minute walk from here to the top of Steep Hill. And behind me, you can see the beautiful cathedral and castle, hopefully. You can see some of our student accommodation just across the Brayford pool there. And we really are in the heart of the city. It's a fantastic place to be a student. 1 in 5 people in the city of Lincoln is a student. So it's a very student-centered town or city. It's a very student-centered place. It's also quite, we're rich in wildlife. So if you hear quacking, I apologise. There are lots of ducks and swans around me. And we got really excited yesterday because there were otters spotted outside the Student Union Tower Bar. And Emma, I got particularly excited, didn't I? But you were equally quite excited by some of the other things going on.
Absolutely. And certainly today, as I've walked across the campus, there's canoeists, the Lincoln Canoe Club is sort of setting up and they're out on the Brayford water. So, you know, there's lots of activity in the city. I think that's really key to say. You know, the city is quite vibrant, and around the campus, there's loads and loads of things that actually happen. So yeah, not only the wildlife, and there's lots of swans. You know, I think the university, I think the SU will probably tell you a little bit more about Swanee, perhaps, and some of their aptly named sort of duck evenings that they have. And yeah, so there's whack, yeah. But there is absolutely loads of things that happen in and around the city, which is literally on your doorstep. We are literally in the centre.
And Emma, obviously we've had some questions on the phones over the last couple of days about what the autumn term is going to be like, given the current COVID-19 guidelines from the government and what we're planning. Do you want to talk through some of the things that we've been doing since May to get ready for students joining us here this autumn?
Absolutely. I think it'll be key as you watch this morning to be able to see some of the physical changes that we've made on campus. I think when we visit Marvin, we may be able to see some of the really bright yellow stickers we'll chat with Marvin about some of the physical moves that we've had. We've got one-way system that's in place now. You can only go in and out of buildings sort of one way, which that's a change. We are actually moving out of our sort of open plan office to make way for our students for more teaching space, so we can actually deliver face-to-face. So there's all sorts of things that have been in the media, but there will be some face-to-face teaching happening at Lincoln. And not only that, socially, we've got some really exciting things. So we've got some TPs coming, Ellie, haven't we?
We have. I'm so excited about the TPs. We've got 2 giant TPs that are going to go up outside, and we're moving towards a more outdoor-centered culture. So we're creating lots of outdoor eating and drinking spaces, and we've got some great plans for outdoor cinema, outdoor exercise class. We've got lots of activities and events that we're planning. And Emma and I are particularly looking forward to a kind of Norwegian style hot chocolate around a roaring fire in a teepee. And that's what we're looking forward to this autumn.
Absolutely. I think some of our meetings might move into that teepee. I quite fancy that. I think that'll be quite nice.
It's going to be fabulous, isn't it? And Lincoln is such a wonderful place to be a student. If you are joining us in October, please do go onto the homepage of our website. There's a banner called Get Ready for Lincoln, and that will tell you lots of things that you need to know. It will also link you through to Friends for Life, and Friends for Life will help you make friends before you come and join us. And it's really useful to know a few people before you come. And Emma, for any parents watching, you've created a parents Facebook page.
Absolutely. We fully appreciate here at Lincoln that actually your 18-year-old son or daughter might not tell you everything that they have received through the post, all of the information. So what we've done is allow you as parents and guardians to have that own little community. There's lots of parents that are on there that were in your position at this point last year or the year before. They will offer you top tips as to what you need to do, things that they wish they'd known, and just ask the questions in a very safe sort of parent environment, which as a student, you don't want parents watching. So, and as a parent, you don't need to look cool at all. You can just ask the honest questions you want to know.
We will answer them, which is important. But it's time to move on. We're going to start our tour of the campus, and we're going to go and look at accommodation. And Emma, you're going to introduce our wonderful head of accommodation.
Absolutely. So Ben Ball, are you available on campus? Hi, Ben.
Hello, hello, Ali.
Hi, Ben.
Yes, I'm here. I'm in our Signet Wharf building, in one of the lounge kitchens of Signet Wharf. So, because we're on here, I can't quite take you around with the camera, but we've got on our information resources, we've got lots of 360-degree tours, as you've already mentioned, that we have of the campus, but we have a lot of those for accommodation, and a lot of information on our information pages that people can look through the university website or the accommodation information pages to get lots of information about what kind of accommodation we have.
Absolutely. So tell us, Ben, we appreciate this is a very, very busy time for you this weekend. So thank you so much for your sort of time, because we know behind the scenes, the accommodation team are working tirelessly to get all of our students sort of allocated to their accommodation. Now, what top tips have you got for the parents and the students that are watching today that didn't plan for Lincoln until Thursday, have called us over the weekend? What sort of advice have you got for them?
Well, the first thing is it's not greatly different to as you would go to any first place, is to take information, look at all of the options. We have a number of locations that are very popular. But that's simply because it feels as though sometimes it's the right and the only place to be. So here I am at Signet Wharf, which is literally in the middle of our campus. I can point, but there's a wall over there, so you can't even see it. But Student Services is over there. Our Alfred Tennyson building is just outside of the window here. Then we would walk down past the main Minerva building, and then we have 179 High Street, which is on campus and next door to the Sarah Swift building. If I had gone up onto the flyover and gone past what will be the new medical school when it's completed, and then took a little bit of a diversion just around yourself, past McDonald's, down past the Morrison's store, I'm at Valentine Court in about 10 or 15 minutes. In that sense, all of our accommodation is very close by. So everybody needs to have a look at all of the features as much as they would like as a preference. The great majority of our accommodation is en suite. We are at a busy period right now, so we've got our firm offers who have just received their accommodation offers. We've got clearing applicants who are looking to come in. So we are a little bit in a slower response period. People can be a little bit patient with us, but look at the choices in your preference of priority, make an ordinary application. Some choices will become limited because of periods of time that students have to accept the accommodation. We don't expect people just to immediately accept something and then lose it. We know that everybody in the family would like to have a consideration of what's happening. So take your time to have a look at the choices. Once your update comes through from the accommodation system, which is linked to the admission system, you would then be able to make an application for accommodation. If your first and most preference choice isn't on there, you can talk to us through accommodation@lincoln.ac.uk, and we can give you current updates as we go through.
That's great. Emma, forgive me for interrupting, but I've just spotted a really good question from Jamie Whedon. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for watching. So Jamie says, Lincoln looks like a great place, but the clearing grades needed are a lot higher than much higher ranked universities. Why is that? And I wanted to answer that quickly because Lincoln is ranked 17th in the UK. So we are one of the best in the UK. We're really highly ranked in the National Student Survey. And TEF Gold, lots of accolades. We work with amazing companies like Siemens, The Guardian, Thomson Reuters Foundation. But the reason probably why we retain our grades at a high level is because we are so popular. We do get many thousands of applications for people who are desperate to come to Lincoln. So, Jamie, what I'd suggest is please give us a call, have a chat to us, and if we possibly can help you, we will. There are certificate and foundation routes, so there is support for people who perhaps haven't done as well as they might think. So give us a call, Jamie, on 0808 164 4444, and thank you ever so much. I'm going to hand back to Emma and Ben. I'm sorry to interrupt, and also hi to the business school.
Hi. Hi to the business school. Right. So Ben, thank you for that. Thank you, Ellie. I think you've answered sort of Jamie's questions. He's come back in with another one. And I think just give us a call, Jamie, I think is the way. So Ben, you've given us the process, you know what we need to do. Can you tell us very briefly, you're in Signet Wharf, is that a typical sort of accommodation?
Well, yes, so we've developed a lot of accommodation over the last 3 or 4 years. So Signet Wharf was only built itself in 2017. And this is I'm in a 12-bedroom apartment, has a nice big long breakfast bar where I'm sat right now, has kitchen facilities, as you can see, relevant for the number of people, and you can just catch the corner of the sofas and the TV area just down here. So everywhere is generally a shared kitchen, but we do have studio apartments now in our portfolio, both with our accommodation and with some of our third-party halls which are off campus. We also have non-ensuite options, and that gives us a range of budgets that can suit a range of budgets. So what we're trying to do is make sure that there's some kind of option choice for every family, from every budget and every preference. So you will have lots of shared apartments that will range from 2 people to 23 people, because we also know that some people would prefer to be in a large group of people when they arrive at university and would like to then interact as they start their journey. But there are other people who would like to be within a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or a 6. Mm-hmm. So generally, I don't suppose we really do have an average right now. It used to be 6 and 8 were our most popular sizes of apartments. But we have, 30 10s and 12s here in Signet Wharf, another 10, 16, 17, 18s in Viking House, which is a couple of minutes behind me. The 6-bedroom townhouses that we put together at Valentine Court just opened last year. They've gone down really, really well in their courtyard settings. And you can see an awful lot of that on our information page, which is accommodation.lincoln.ac.uk. And that gives you some photo opportunities you see photographs of the setting there. We've sort of created a new village within the city. And it's been a really, really popular option there.
I think what you've indicated is there is a choice for everybody, no matter what you want or how you want to live. We've got it here at Lincoln, haven't we?
Yeah, independently or as a group of people, definitely.
Also, I think it's key to say, not only on your website, but you've also got a lot of social media pages where you've got all sorts of pictures I've noticed over the weekend. So potential students can have a look at those. I've got one last question for you, Ben. You've worked at the university quite a long time, like myself, and I've moved to Lincoln. So what's your favourite part about the city?
The favourite part about the city is the Brayford Pool. One, it's where I work, so that's easy to find then most days. But actually doing a tour of the Brayford Pool around the banks of the Brayford, when you get over to what is the north bank of the Brayford Pool and you look back at the university the opposite view to where Ellie is in the Vice Chancellor's office. It's actually a really stunning view of the university as well. So on that wander around, you can see all of the wildlife, all of the ducks and the geese and the swans, and then have a wander over back down the restaurants and bars and the cinemas behind Ellie as well. It would be really, it's just a really good tour to do.
Right. And that's a really good question, actually, just come in for Ben before we leave him, Emma.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, we've got a question come in, very timely, actually, so we're not leaving you now. Michelle Neal has come in to ask us the question. Hello, Michelle. Are all the accommodations going to full? Going to be full? Yeah, sorry. Or are you working differently due to COVID? I think that's a really good question, actually. Lots of people will be thinking that.
And that's a great picture, Michelle. I really like that picture.
Very early on when COVID arrived, there was a lot of universities thinking that reducing the number of occupants in an apartment would be an assistance to social distancing. And now this was probably in April and May, right at the height of lockdown. So we've taken lots of views. We've looked at all of the government guidance, which we're adhering to completely. And effectively what we will be doing is we'll be forming new households. So the new household will operate as we do in our own houses right now. We have to be cautious of visitors. We have to be an understanding where I've been so that I can make sure that other people in my household are okay or aware, and you're looking after each other. So we will be fully occupying our apartments. It will bring us some other challenges as we go through, such as people who may have to self-isolate within that apartment, and we'll have to give those students particular advice, such as if anybody asked us for a room change. We've got to consider how we do that step over from one household to another household, exactly as it is for all of us, in all of the restrictions that we're advised about for visiting people. And you know, there's many of us, I'm sure, across the country have not been able to go see loved ones for various reasons and various restrictions. It's sort of a little bit like that we will give all of the students as much advice as we can, but they are going to be adults setting up a new household, and they will have to have caution and consideration for each other.
That's such a good answer, Ben. Thank you. And we'd also recommend for anyone starting in the autumn that they do some practice cooking. There's nothing more important than being able to cook as well for that household. So, Emma, any final words for Ben before we move on?
I don't think so. I think we will come back to you, Ben, in about 40-50 minutes, maybe about half an hour or so. That doesn't make any sense, but we will be back on the day. I thought
it was brilliant.
See you later.
We'll catch up with you later. Thank you ever so much.
Stay there, Ben. Yeah, grab a cup of coffee. We will be back. And Michelle, thank you so much for your question. Before we move on, Emma, Ben's talked about how beautiful the city of Lincoln is, and up at the cathedral, Wes Nelson on Wednesday, the Love Islander, was describing it as sort of Hogwarts. It is so beautiful up there. I always say it's like Middle Earth. It's just a stunning place to be. But once you get out of the city, Emma, what's your favourite thing to do sort of outside the city?
My most favourite thing, and this is sort of winter or summer, to be fair, is to go across to the Lincolnshire coast. We've got a vast sort of Lincolnshire coastline, and we've got the bigger towns like Mablethorpe and Skegness and the more commercial sort of towns. But we've got amazing sort of Gibraltar Point, Huttoff, Anderby Creek, Donanook, where the seals are. They are absolute, beautiful places. And recently the Huttoff to Anderby Creek sort of stretch, the walk there has been ranked by The Guardian in this last week as one of the top 10 coastal walks in the UK. And absolutely, honestly, it's literally sort of 40 minutes an hour away, isn't it? It's so lovely.
Yeah. Well, I told you yesterday, Emma, I went to the beach last weekend when it was so hot, and I was actually at Sutton-on-Sea. And I went in swimming because it was that warm, and a seal popped up next to me, literally right next to me. It scared me to death, but it was the most beautiful little black seal I've ever seen. And then you were talking about, was it Donanook?
Done enough, yeah. So about November time, Bailey, one of our student leaders yesterday, had much more information than I have. But the queues to see the seals being born during that time is incredible.
There are thousands of seals there, aren't there?
Thousands. Really, really well worth sort of going over and having a look with maybe your household or whatever.
Yeah.
We've got another question, I think, Ellie, I've noticed from George.
Yes.
Before we move on.
Yes, it's quite a complex question. I don't know whether you want to answer it, Emma, or if I ask Darren to do a quick answer in the feed. Would that be better?
Yeah, it might be. If Darren can sort of answer that, and actually it probably needs more of a conversation and pointing to look at the website. And what I would suggest, perhaps, George, is you book a one-to-one chat with one of our academics today. Then they can go through more of the complex sort of parts of the question so that you really understand the course.
That's a really good point, because you can book a one-to-one on the website. So if you're watching on social media, just click through to the website. I'll ask Darren to put up a link so you can click across, and on the virtual open day website you can click a one-to-one with either an academic or some of our admissions staff or welfare staff, whatever it is you need. So that's a really good answer. Now we're running a little bit late, so I'm going to move on very quickly. And Emma, remind me who we're going to see next.
So we are heading across, which isn't very far away from where I am in the Isaac Newton building. We're going to the Sports Centre, and hopefully sat in the Sports Centre is Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi is one of our alumni community. Morning, Chi-Chi.
Morning, Chi-Chi. How are you?
Well, I'm great, thank you. Well, I'm set in a sports centre, as you've mentioned. And yeah, as an alumni who's done her undergrad and her postgraduate degree at the University of Lincoln, I'm happy to be here today.
Well, it's super to welcome you. Thank you so much. So before we talk about your experience, tell us a little bit about the Sports Centre, what it's like, what's around you.
So right now I'm set in the reception area, as you can see at the back. To my right, there is the entrance where you walk through the doors. But before you even enter the Sports Centre, we've got a lovely outdoor pitch where you can do any activities that our Students' Union offer. And to my left, you just walk through these gates. And yeah, if you walk up the stairs, you go to our lovely fitness studio, which is less busy than any other commercial fitness studio. So I would really suggest to students to make use of this fitness studio, because it will never be as busy as other ones that are in the city. And it's really perfectly equipped as well. So you can find anything that you'd have in any other fitness studio. And yeah, we've got some other rooms for the dance society and like karate society, etc. to use up there. But yeah, if you just walk straight down the hall, you will find our lovely sports courts. So they can be used for various sports like basketball, football, volleyball, badminton, etc. You can just transform them into whatever you need them for. And yeah, that's all possible. And also competitive plays do take place in there. So we've got places for people just to sit down and watch and cheer the team up. I played in a Bucks team myself when I was a student.
You played volleyball, didn't you, as a student?
Exactly. So I played for the University of Lincoln's Bucks ladies team. So that was amazing. I've one of the best memories that I was lucky to take with me in that sports hall, just being on court, playing for the university and being cheered up by my friends and by my teammates. It was absolutely amazing. And anyone can just come and watch and cheer everyone up, because in the end of the day, we are a team and we are there to represent the university. And it's lovely to have that honor.
We do have an ethos of one community here at Lincoln, and we very much live by that. The whole of Lincoln is a really friendly place to be. We were actually voted the friendliest city in the UK by the Eden Project Big Lunch, and it really is friendly. I mean, what was it like being a student here, Chi-Chi?
I can absolutely second that. So one of the reasons why I came to Lincoln and I stayed in Lincoln was because it is such a welcoming place. Not only the city itself, but as you've mentioned, the university is absolutely amazing. I made so many friends. I don't even know. I am honestly, I probably met over 200 plus, 300 plus people during my time here. And that is a huge network. So it's not only for your time here, but also when you graduate, it is amazing to have those networks, which you might not get at any other university, because not everyone has such a one community feeling. And that really doesn't come across here. And it did help me a lot at university, but also in my professional career.
Yeah, we really strive to provide a home from home for our students. We put students at the heart of every single thing that we do at Lincoln. Students sit on every committee of the university. They take part in every interview that the university carries out. So we are very student-centered. But Gigi, tell me your favourite thing to do in Lincoln, in the city of Lincoln. What you like to do?
My favorite thing to do in Lincoln, you know, as Ben mentioned, since I came to Lincoln, so many buildings did pop up, so many accommodations did pop up, and so many opportunities did pop up. So while I was trying to get through my list of to-dos to visit and to see here in Lincoln, so many more things did add up on that list each year, and you can't even keep up. So there is so much to do, and one of my favorite things to do in Lincoln is just to walk around and explore the new things that always pop up, because it will never end, and there is so much. And each weekend you walk past the high street or walk around Lincoln, there is going to be something new that you haven't discovered before and that wasn't there before. So it is really ever evolving, and there is always something new coming up.
And it's quite interesting, actually, because it's also very historic. So Lincoln used to be a Roman retirement village many, many, many hundreds of years ago. And it's also the home of the Magna Carta. The cathedral that we've mentioned is used to be the tallest building in Europe. So it is chock full of history. So if you like history and words, this is very much the place to be. Would you agree, Gigi?
Absolutely. And I have to add on that it was one of the best, and not only one of the best, it was absolutely the best feeling and the best day I had in my life, graduating in that lovely cathedral. I had tears in my eye, and I'm not exaggerating. And I don't think you can have that feeling, those goosebumps, when you're in that cathedral, being basically walking up that stage in front of everyone. It was the best day in my life, and I would not change that decision to come to Lincoln for anything else that I could be offered.
I think you've summed it up there, Gigi. Now we've got a question from Lily Lockett Palmer. So hi, Lily Lockett, what a beautiful name. So I've gained a place on the nursing degree, mental health. There's a lot of information on students that will be of school leaving age, but not much on parents and adults that will be, so on mature students coming to the university. Obviously, with the current COVID situation, the school's not doing breakfast clubs. How will students get on with being late for their lectures, etc.? I know this is a big worry for a lot of mature students with children, and completely we can understand that. Obviously, we don't know for sure what the situation in the autumn is going to be like, but hi, Lily Lockett. I'm going to ask Emma if you want to add anything to that, Emma.
Yeah, I mean, all I would say, Lily, is that actually there are lots and lots. Nursing is one of our sort of courses that recruit an awful lot of mature students, actually. So lots of people will be in exactly the same position as you. Today, obviously, we have, and I know we keep repeating this, but we've got the option to speak to an academic. So what I would suggest you do is down at the bottom of this page, click your one-to-one, book in a one-to-one for a phone call or a meeting sort of virtually like this with the academic member, who will be able to give you some reassurance on that. We are not wishing to make your life more difficult here, and as ever, we are adhering to every sort of government guidance as it happens, but they can give you the picture as it is in August. So please book in now, get to speak to one of the academics, and they can put your mind at rest.
And Lily Lockett, I can see you're on Facebook, so I'm going to ask Darren to put a link in so you can follow the link from Facebook to the virtual open day page, so you can see where to click for that one-to-one. And good morning, 197688. It's really nice that you could join us. You're asking, could you advise when we'll receive confirmation on accommodation? Now, those are going out. If you've not received it, again, you can book a one-to-one. I can see you're on YouTube, so click the same link that Darren's about to post and follow through, and you can talk to the accommodation office in a one-to-one. Now we've got some other questions. Please give information on MBA admissions process and scholarships opportunities. Hi, Kaustef. Namaste. Nice to meet you. Again, I think, Emma, are you going to recommend a one-to-one for Kaustef?
Yeah, absolutely. If you chat to us on our Slido chat, they can go through with you the process. But my biggest bit of advice really is go onto our website, go onto postgraduate pages. The applications are there, and there is links to international students there as well. So you can ensure that we can give you all of the guidance. But we would love an application from you. So please, don't leave us this morning. Go onto there, and we can guide you through the process in order to sort of get your application.
And thank you, Darren, for posting the link so everyone can see that's now in the chat. So hopefully you can click on that link. Phoebe is asking about moving in day. Now, moving in, I call it moving in day. It's actually probably a moving in 4 days, if not longer. We'll be moving people into their accommodation with specific time slots on specific days. That's going to be especially important with COVID to make sure that everyone can get in and safely and adhere to government guidelines. So you will be given a specific day and time for moving in. Again, if you want to have a chat directly to Ben, he'll be back with us later on, but you can click a one-to-one. And if anyone's got any more questions, please do just contact us. Now, Chi-Chi, I think you've told us lots of wonderful things. Are there any last things you want to tell us before we say goodbye to you, Chi-Chi?
I would just like to say, because we've got someone joining us from India, I came from Austria myself. I was 1,000 miles away from my family, and not for a second did I regret being in Lincoln. I do love my family. I was missing them so much, but University of Lincoln takes so good care of the students. There is so much offered, and even in terms of English language, we've got the English Language Center. They help you with everything, so you don't struggle at all. So there is help for anything that you need. So I would say just come to the University of Lincoln, because as an international student myself, I went through it and I absolutely enjoyed it.
That's such a good point. Yeah, and I know our welfare team are watching, so they are really supportive, aren't they, Emma? They're a great team.
Oh, they're an amazing team. I love them. But what they are there is to ensure that the transition, so this period now, where you're feeling a little bit unsure, especially if Lincoln wasn't your first choice, and so you're a little bit nervous, they can put your mind at rest now, and any sort of support that you need, the sooner that wellbeing team are aware, they can put any support in place for you, and we do support really well, and that's something that I think is a real asset to the University of Lincoln. We've got a great team.
And do ask us any questions if you've got any, and if you're looking to talk to our clearing and adjustment team, then you can call us on 0808 164 4444. That's 0808 164 4444. And Emma, I think you're about to introduce us, but we'll say goodbye to Chi-Chi. Thanks for coming, Chi-Chi. We'll see you in about 40 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you. Where are we going next?
Sorry, that phone line is open till 3 o'clock today. So whilst we're only here till 12, the clearing line is open till 3 o'clock today, just to sort of remind everybody. So thank you, Chi-Chi. We're now moving across to meet Marvin. Marvin is also, hi Marvin, he's also one of our alumni community. And Marvin, you graduated a couple of years ago, I think. Tell us what you did, and then also tell us where you're located. Where are you on campus?
So I graduated from business management undergrad here. It's about a little over 2 years now. And I am in the place where I used to live, the library. This was one of my favorite places to be. Genuinely, it was amazing. I wouldn't have survived without this place. It is 4 floors of just award-winning everything. The friendliest staff, the digital resources available are amazing. From the spaces as well, that where you could be more isolated and really individual blocks where you can sink your teeth into whatever project you're working on, to all the rooms to ICT suites available for everyone to kind of come together and bring alive the projects they're working on. And then, as I was talking about resources, you have the Macs, as you can see, you've got PCs, laptops that you can borrow, and a number of different equipment available with Wi-Fi all over the campus. And since everything is 5 minutes away, the Wi-Fi really has saved has saved lives, because you can access it from all over, and you can access the Wi-Fi from your devices and everything, as well as the subject specific librarian staff around that are available to help you. And one of my key favorite bits about the library was that it was open 24/7. And so not only were the digital resources available 24/7, I'm one of those people that works best around 2 a.m. That's when I came alive. And it is what it is. But there were times where I would be going home around 6 in the morning, ready to really go to bed. And some of my friends were coming in to start their day, and it was just amazing. But yeah, that's us here.
Thank you, Maureen. I'm just going to pause just one moment because we've got a question from Sri Lanka. I'm going to Sri Lanka next year. Very excited.
Hi, Sulaj. Yeah. Oh, Sri Lanka, brilliant, Emma.
I know, exactly. Maybe when you arrive on your mechanical engineering course, you can come and tell me about Sri Lanka and top tips about Sri Lanka while we're telling you about Lincoln now. You will be located in this building. This is where the mechanical engineering building takes students live. They have got huge, very technical things that I have no idea about, but it looks very impressive. And one of our key sort of very, very key sort of partnerships is with Siemens, and that is very key to the engineering students. So very exciting. One of only 7 partnerships in the UK with the university Siemens has. So it's a really, really exciting partnership, and we have members of the Siemens team that actually have offices here. So it's a very, very close connection that we have. So real good. Sort of very, very good course. So we really look forward to you joining us.
But give us a call if you want to make that application, Sulaj, because it says you haven't applied yet, I think. So just a reminder on the number. Yeah,
so please give us a call. Absolutely. If you can't, we are taking offers on social media, Ellie, aren't we, as well today?
Yes.
So, if you want to ask any questions, and you don't want to phone, then actually we can take offers, or we can give offers, assuming everything is okay, via social media. So go to our Facebook page and contact the experts there as well, because there's you don't always have to ring.
It's a really good prompt, actually, Emma, because whoever you are, whether you're a parent, whether you're a student or an international student, there are a range of social media feeds that you can follow. And there's also the Friends for Life group on Facebook that you can join, and we will link you up with like-minded people. And it was when we were talking to Bailey, the student, yesterday, and she was telling us that she actually met her husband, who she's marrying, was it in a couple of months, Emma? And she'd actually, yes, Marvin's agreeing, she met him in the engine shed, which was quite a shocker. And we must catch up with her and find a bit more about that. But yeah, Marvin, tell us, what's your favourite memory of Lincoln?
What's my favourite memory of Lincoln? Oh, I'm torn between some amazing nightlife experiences and the food, because there is just no amount of places where I can't even describe, from Italian to Mexican to Chinese. Like, the range of food here was brilliant. So, favorite memory. I think I mentioned it before. It might not be the most exciting one, but it was 5 a.m. Here in the library, and I raced over with McDonald's just 5 minutes away. I managed to make it just before they swapped over to the breakfast menu, and I mean, it is for everyone likes what they like, but I
Marvin,
managed
I
to.
know you met one of your best friends in the world at Lincoln, and I can't believe your top memory is going to McDonald's. He will be
I've
really
made friends of a
upset.
lifetime here. I
Yeah.
know, I
Oh,
did.
food outlets other than McDonald's at Lincoln, I can assure you.
That's a good point. Now we must ask Marvin, Emma, about last Wednesday, because something very, very special happened on Wednesday, which was so exciting.
Absolutely. And any new visitors today have a chance to be able to watch this. Now, Marvin, you interviewed somebody quite famous and quite very exciting, in fact. Tell us who that was.
I got to interview none other than Wes Nelson from Love Island, which was brilliant. The man was absolutely brilliant and as friendly as he seems. He is literally what it says on the tin, and he was brilliant, and he was there able to talk about how amazing Lincoln is, and you know, he put a gold stamp on the night out. But not just that, he kind of helped talk to students about how it might be nervous starting your journey at university, but you're going to make friends for life, and those friends are going to be with you, and the experiences that you're going to have are going to be endless.
He
And
was really inspirational, wasn't he, Marvin? And the thing I really liked was his tips on how to make friends and how to, you know, obviously he'd been through it going into the Love Island villa and moving in and not knowing a soul and having to make friends and cope with living with people you'd never met before. And he had some really top tips and what an inspiring man. I mean, he told us he was going to be the best newcomer at the Brits this year, and we both believed him at the end.
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I believe it. He speaks it into existence.
So determined. I think he could have been a professional footballer, but you know, a sort of engineer. He could have. He puts his mind to anything, and I think he does it. And I think it was a real inspiration for young people, I think, to watch. So it's really worth having a sort of rerun and having a look at that because it's still on our streams.
For tips on making friends, for tips on how to stay focused and get your plan together, and to just kind of keep your head on straight. And
we get some really inspirational academics and speakers here. I mean, we've got amazing people on staff like Nigel Allinson, and then we have people like the previous poet laureate, Caroline Duffy, who's a visiting artist, and she comes and does poetry workshops, which are amazing for our English and journalism students. Chris Packham, he's a visiting professor and he comes and does diversity talks, and he's taken a few groups of students to Springwatch, which have been fabulous. There's always something interesting going on at Lincoln, I think it's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. From the Christmas market to the teepees that are, you know, the Thor's teepees.
We are so excited about those teepees, aren't we? I think
there's just so much to do, and it's just, it's always exciting.
Marvin, thank you so much for spending time with us. It's always an absolute joy to see you, and we love seeing you, so thank you. We'll be back with you in about 40 minutes, so please don't go anywhere. Please be ready to show off the library again then. And we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye, Marvin. And Emma, where are we going next?
So, Ellie, we are going over literally over what we call the sort of library square, from Marvin to the Students' Union. So the Students' Union, we're hopefully seeing Lucy is in the Tower Bar, and Amina is in the entrance. So as you can see behind her where it says welcome, I know you never quite know which way to go. So she is in the entrance of the Students' Union. So good morning to you both.
Good morning. Before you tell us about you guys, are the otters there? Have you seen the otters this morning?
I haven't, I'm afraid. I think Bailey must be the lucky charm for that.
Oh, we're so excited about those otters. Now, Lucy, do you want to start? Tell us a little bit about you and the SU, and then Amina will come to you as well.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Lucy. I'm the Vice President Wellbeing Community here at Lincoln Students' Union. So I'm here to ensure that all students feel supported in their wellbeing with by the SU, and I work closely with the SU Advice Centre and also the University Wellbeing team. I also ensure that students really feel that community feel that we like to work to here at Lincoln, and that we all feel like we're one community. Alongside Amina and myself, we do have 3 other sabbatical officers. So we have Bailey, who is our campaigns and environment, and she is incredibly passionate about all things environment and also heads up our campaigns network. So they're all our liberation officers, our BAME officer, our LGBT officer, our women's officer, who are all absolutely fantastic. I know they have some brilliant things planned this year. We have Abby, who's in charge of all of our sports and societies. She is our activities officer, and she is fantastic. We have just about 200 sports and societies here, both academic and non-academic, and she works really closely with all of them. And then finally, we have Georgia, who is our Vice President Education. She's also our Honorary President, and she has a great network of school reps who work really closely with SU and the university to ensure that everyone's really enjoying their course and that everything runs smoothly and people can get what they want out of their course academically.
That's brilliant, Lucy. Before we move on to Amina, I just want to say hi to Miraz, who said hello to you, Emma.
Hi, hello, good morning.
And Kastaf, you've asked about job opportunities. I will quickly say 96% of students from Lincoln are in employment or higher education or continuing education within 6 months of leaving. So we have really excellent employability rates. And Marvin actually works for the university now, Emma, doesn't he? He works with us.
He does, yeah, and I think if anything you're taking away from this morning, it is that once you arrive at Lincoln, it's very unusual that people want to leave. I think Lucy sort of chatted about that yesterday. You know, she now sees sort of 3 years on that Lincoln is her home, and that's so lovely. We have so many sort of graduates that work in and around the city that it's hence why they're coming back to talk to us today, really.
Which is fabulous. And Amina, hi, it's lovely to see you. Tell us a bit about what you do.
Hi everyone, I am Amina and I'm the Vice President International. Basically, I take care of international students. I do this by ensuring that they transition smoothly into the Lincoln community and also help to support them to integrate properly with home students. And usually I do this through my network, which is International Students Association, which we all call ISA. So ISA usually has international students automatically being enrolled. But then if you're a home student as well, you can join ISA. So this network is just there to help support international students feel at home here at Lincoln.
And so you do a fabulous job, Amina. I mean, there are so many trips that go around the country, so you can travel all over the UK and you get to meet people, and it is very integrated, which is really nice. You meet people from literally around about 130 different countries, don't you? It's a melting pot of ideas. But what's the experience like from your side?
Like I said, I am also an international student, and I'm really enjoying Lincoln. It's quiet and it's peaceful, and it's just so nice, you know. So my experience has been really overwhelming. The fact that I've been able to settle into Lincoln means that anyone else who is coming to Lincoln, no matter wherever you're coming from, you would be able to find your bearings and settle as well in Lincoln.
Yeah, it's a very welcoming place. And we've got the question I was going to ask next, actually, from Theo Hercules. What a brilliant name. What will Freshers Week be like? And Lucy, do you want to take this on?
Yeah, of course. So obviously we know Freshers is a massive part of a student's entry into university life. So we're really keen to still provide some sort of freshers within the government guidelines for COVID. So we are currently planning lots of virtual and also some face-to-face activities. So we know that with government guidelines, we won't be able to offer the club nights that students are so used to, but we are planning so many activities in place of that so that they don't miss out and they can still meet people. I would definitely say to follow all of our social medias, because we'll be announcing things closer to the time and getting you all really excited for it. In terms of activities, all of our activities can still be joined online. Our clubs and societies are still going to be running. We know how important clubs and societies are to integrate students, so we don't want to stop that at all. And really excitingly, all of our clubs and societies are working to move virtual for the first semester, in line with government guidelines. If they relax, obviously then we'll look at moving more face-to-face time in, but we really want to make sure that you can still join a clubs and society and build those relationships.
And there are 3 freshers fairs, aren't there? Which, as I said yesterday, is really hard to say.
Yeah, so we have our commercial freshers fair, which is great. It's basically just loads of local Lincoln businesses and slightly larger businesses come in and advertise and give you discounts, essentially, which is fabulous. We have our society's freshers fair and we have our campaigns freshers fair. And it's really exciting. They're all going to be virtual this year. I know our team have been working really hard on them. They all go live on the 1st of October on our website. But we're actually going to have specific days where they're going to be manned, so you can meet the people behind those stalls. So our clubs and societies presidents will be there to answer any questions. Our liberation officers will be there to answer any questions. And we just really want to make sure that we give students the full experience.
And it's really important to join up, isn't it? I think you were saying this yesterday, Lucy. It's so important to join up and make friends. And what top tips would you give to people? I know Sulav's asking if there's a student WhatsApp group. How should people find out what's going on and stay in touch?
Definitely all our social medias, like I said, the Lincoln SU social media is a great way of keeping up to date. Also, all of our sabbatical officers have their own Instagram and Twitter, so you can stay up to date with us. I'd say just jump in with both feet. Join a club and society. We normally say about 3 is probably the most that you want to do to complement your studies and not overwhelm you. But personally, I joined the Dance Society and I met Bailey, who is our Vice President, Campaigns Environment, on the first week, and here we are 3 years later. But if students don't want to get involved in a club and society, if that seems too daunting, we do have volunteering opportunities with the Campaigns Network. I have the recently set up Wellbeing Network, which is super exciting, and I'm recruiting students for that at the moment. And we also have loads of job opportunities within the SU. You can become a member of SU student staff. I personally did that in my 3rd year. I worked for the Barge, and I am still friends with everyone I worked with. It was such a brilliant, close-knit team, and working with the SU really gives you some great experience and is really fun at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's great. And Amina, we know that lots of people, this is quite a scary time. Although Emma and I are really excited about all this, and you probably are too, about all the students starting in the autumn. For a lot of people sat at home, this might be quite scary, thinking about going away, moving away from home, going to university for the first time. What top tips, what advice would you give Amina?
Basically, I'll just tell them that we are trying to make sure we're doing everything within government's guidelines, but it doesn't mean that they are not going to get the university experience that that they hope for. It's just they're going to have it in a different way, and things are going to be different. But then again, they are going to be new, and then it will be good for students to be able to adapt and then do things differently. So it's more like the volunteering opportunities that Lucy mentioned. There are lots and lots of them. I've been part of opportunities like this. So students are just basically going to look into what they can do differently, what they haven't done, and then use the opportunity to learn new skills. For instance, imagine learning a British language sign, which we did a few weeks ago. It was really, really nice to have learned that within a short period of time. So it's just students taking the opportunity and services that we offer here to learn something new and then be the best that they can by the time their course is over. who knows, they may settle in Lincoln and then probably be sabbatical officers too, like us.
Hopefully. I mean, Emma, what advice would you give parents who perhaps are also a little bit nervous about children or young people, leaving home?
Yeah, I think, it's such a huge change in a family as well, isn't it? And I think this year even more so. So I think it would be absolutely normal to be quite nervous about, as a parent, for your son or daughter to go off to university. But I think I would like to think that if we can support anybody, Lincoln does it well. Lincoln puts the student at the heart of absolutely everything that we do. And that's not just with the team of the Students' Union, the leaders like Lucy and Amina, which absolutely, as a parent, I feel reassured in your hands. But equally, we've got a huge team, the wellbeing team, we've mentioned the accommodation team with Ben's team, resident wardens on campus for sort of safety and ensuring 24/7 security on campus. There is, it's not just about safety and enjoying it. It is the whole package here at Lincoln. I think that's really key. And as a parent myself, I would feel very absolutely confident that the journey would be good.
Oops. Yeah, no, and it's preparing for the future. It's being prepared to go out there and make a difference in this world. And I think that's what most of our students want to do, to go out there and change the world a little bit. But Amina, tell us, what's your favourite thing to do in Lincoln? Before we leave you, tell us what's your top thing to do, what you like to do.
I like going for walks, really long walks, and it's fascinating to see the green fields around that you can take pictures. So if you like taking pictures, which is something that I like to do, you would definitely love it here in Lincoln. Like, there are so many places that you can just walk and do that. And I listen to music while I'm doing that as well. So it's really nice.
And wildlife as well. In the last year, I've seen a snake. There's horses on the common. There's so much. The otters. Don't forget the otters and the seals. Lucy, what's your favourite thing to do?
I'm very similar to Amina. I really like cycling and walking through the areas of Lincoln. It's really lovely to see that even though you're a city, if you walk for 10 minutes, you can be out in the countryside. That's one of the great things about Lincoln. It's a city, but it's not too big and it's not too small. It's got everything you need without being overwhelming.
I think that's a really good summation. We should say, though, that for those people who like going out more than we do, there is the engine shed, and in times, in non-COVID times, you have some amazing acts, people I've never heard of, but everyone else gets very excited about, on at the engine shed. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Lucy?
Yeah, so the engine shed is our main sort of club venue. I know I have spent plenty of Wednesday evening at Quack and plenty of Thursday morning feeling slightly worse for wear. But obviously due to COVID, those are put on hold for the minute, but we usually have a Wednesday club night called Quack, and we also have comedians and we have musicians come in. So we have people like Lee Mack, Jimmy Carr come in, and we also have musicians like the Shires, Blackstone Cherry, all sorts. It really depends on your music taste, but there is generally something for everyone.
We're going to move on, but if it's okay with you guys, we're going to come back to you in around about 40-50 minutes. Is that okay? If you wait for us, and we will come back soon. Thank you so much for your time. Goodbye, Amina. Goodbye, Lucy. We will catch up with you later. Oh, Emma, what an exciting day this is. Oh my gosh.
It is. I've just remembered that if there are any viewers that are watching and interested in applying for postgrad studies, we've also got an accelerated application process going, and our PG team are on hand. So if you want to find the link for that, go on and sort of direct message the social media team, and they will be able to point you in the right direction for that. But
that's a good point. Should we get Darren to post it in the chat? So if we've got any postgraduates watching, they can go and join the live postgraduate event, which is going on at the moment. That's a really good point, Emma. Now, Emma, we should probably welcome the people who've joined us late. So massive welcome to the University of Lincoln Choose Lincoln Virtual Open Day. It's our adjustment and clearing event, and you've got me, Ellie Sample, as one of your live lounge hosts.
And I'm Emma Jubbs, and I'm located in one of our lecture theatres, as I'm sure you can sort of guess. This is our Isaac Newton building, aptly named by our sort of Isaac Newton, because he came from Grantham in Lincolnshire. And if you can see me behind me, this is where we would, in normal circumstances, we would expect that you'd be in here and have a welcome about the University of Lincoln, have a formal presentation and have a walk around the campus. That's not possible today. So I'm here from the lecture theatre so that you can sort of envisage what you could have and what in the next 3 years these seats will be full again.
Now, Emma, can I just ask, because I think Kaustaf is asking for the postgraduate link, is it Beth running the postgraduate event today?
Yes.
So if Darren gives Beth a nudge, Beth can perhaps put that link up for us, which would be really great. Now, you've mentioned Isaac Newton, Lincoln's favourite son from Grantham. Outside of your building, one of the many exciting things to be seen in Lincoln is a graft of Isaac Newton's apple tree. And I do get really excited. It was a gift to us from Woolston Manor, where Isaac Newton lived in Grantham. And you can sit under it. And we haven't got any apples yet, but at some point there will be an apple and it may fall on your head and you may have a really, really good idea.
Let's hope so. It is, yeah. I think if you want to, so if I just sort of picture the environment in this building alone, we have our maths, our physics students, obviously, and our engineering students, and that this is the hub where they sort of work. Literally, sort of looking outside at the front of me is our new Lincoln Medical School that's building, and in the last few months that has changed rapidly. So there's no shortage of that development going on. So it is very, very exciting here on campus.
There's a lot going on. I mean, and today there's a huge amount going on. We're going to try and give you a sort of virtual tour of the University of Lincoln. We are live. Emma and I are both here on Saturday morning. So you can ask us questions in the feed wherever you are. And please do, even if it's just to say hello. It's really nice for us to know that you're here, because normally, as Emma said, that lecture theatre behind Emma would be absolutely chock full. And we'd be talking to you there, and we'd be enjoying a lovely breakfast with you as well at the moment, which I, for one, am really missing. To give you an idea of the campus, I'm sat in our wonderful Vice-Chancellor's office. Our Vice-Chancellor is Mary Stewart. She's a really inspirational and talented woman. And as you can see, we are slap bang in the heart of the city of Lincoln. We've got a huge campus. It's a campus-based university, so our accommodation, our teaching facilities, a really large campus, but all here. And everything is about a 10-minute walk, isn't it, Emma, into the city?
I think that's really key. We're quite unique because we're a city centre campus, but a campus university. So everything, you don't need to, we are a 5-minute walk from the train station, the bus station, but once you're here and once you are, you look like an air hostess then, and we are literally about an hour away from East Midlands Airport and possibly half an hour from Humberside Airport and about an hour from Leeds, Bradford, the same from Birmingham for our international sort of viewers today. But actually, once you are we're going to head over to Ben very shortly. Our off-campus accommodation sometimes is closer than some of our on-campus accommodation, and
sounds bizarre, but it's true.
That's the trick, and that's the research that you need to do with your accommodation. And Ben will cover that very shortly. But it genuinely is such a close-knit environment, and I think you mentioned earlier, Ellie, there's something like 1 in 5 of Lincoln's population is one of us a student. So it's a very, very friendly, student-friendly city. And as a fairly new university, certainly I've lived in Lincoln all my life. It's changed unrecognisable.
Janine, hi, Janine Woodlow. I'm glad you loved your time at Lincoln. I've loved my time at Lincoln. I know Emma loves Lincoln as well. Behind me, you can see the fabulous cathedral and castle, which really are beautiful. Wes Nelson described it as being like Hogwarts the other day. I say it's like Middle Earth. I absolutely love it. Emma, I think, prefers Steep Hill, and yeah, the Rangers. It's very steep.
It is very steep, but there's a few shops along the way, so never fear. There's the famous tea room, so you can nip in there for a bit of an afternoon tea, which is really cute. And I think one of the really key things as well, Ellie, that we've not even mentioned is sort of looking out into that skyline and seeing on a daily basis the red arrows. I'm pretty certain today with the VJ celebrations, I bet at some point they will be flying straight back into Scampton, which will soon move into one of our other RAF bases. And it's absolutely incredible to watch those flying over the cathedral, isn't it?
I don't know if you know, Emma, but the PR manager of the Red Arrows is actually one of our alumni, Andrew, and Andrew does some talks for us on a regular basis. And we've had Red One in on a number of occasions, talking to students and doing talks for us. Before we go to Ben, Emma, do you want to do a really quick run through as to what people should expect from today?
Absolutely, yes. So today, you're luckily not going to just listen to me and Ellie. We've got another hour, 50 minutes or so of live sort of session. During today, we are going to visit accommodation with Ben. We're going to visit a couple of our alumni community, and we're going to visit our Students' Union, our student leaders. Not only that, there is on hand a group of experts to be able to answer your questions, namely our academics. So please, any course questions you have, book a one-to-one at the bottom of this screen. Book your one-to-one. They will get back to you either on the phone or as a virtual sort of conversation like this. However you want to speak to them, they will speak to you. So you've got all of that research. Our wellbeing team, our group of experts for general inquiries, they're all on hand. So please ask your questions.
And can I just mention, Emma, I've just had a message from the PG, the postgraduate team, who have told me that the postgraduate event today is fully booked. So I'm really sorry, but users can book onto another date via the link that Darren has posted for us. So I'm really sorry, our postgraduate event is fully booked. As I said earlier, we are incredibly popular as a university, I think because of our wonderful environment, because we are a top 20 rated university, we're gold rated, 5-star, we are a wonderful place to live and be. And Emma said we were friendly. We were actually voted the friendliest city in the UK, which is fabulous. Now we are going to go to Ben, which we're running slightly late for. So I'm hoping that Ben's waited for us. And hi, Ben. Hi, Ben.
Well,
thank you, Ben. Hi. And just before we start, Ben, Janine, it has changed massively since 1999. It absolutely has. It just develops all of the time. And that's the beauty of Lincoln. It never sits still. So, Ben, hi, where are you?
I'm in our Signet Wharf building today, one of the new buildings that Janine will be missing, in that sense that it was built in 2017. Houses 442 students, all in ensuite rooms. I'm sat in one of the kitchen areas, lounge area, just down to my left, and a big breakfast bar here, which goes down really well for socialising for students as they go through their daily activities.
Excellent. So as we know, we're very grateful for you to be sort of taking some time out this morning, because it is a very busy time for the accommodation team, trying to get all of our students allocated to the right accommodation over these next few days. What would be your top tips for any parents or students that are watching that hadn't anticipated coming to Lincoln on Thursday, and now they are? What would you advise them to do, and what do they need to do next?
The first thing is to have a look at all of the information. The student will have to go through the journey of accepting an offer, potentially with UCAS track, and confirming all of that. Once that happens, there's a link that goes out to them from our accommodation booking system, which gives them an opportunity to register and make an application for accommodation. People need to be looking at all of the information from the university website, from the accommodation information pages, which has lots of 360-degree tours, lots of walkthroughs on Facebook, where we actually walk through a full building from the outside door through into an apartment and a room, and you're following a host through a demonstration of a building. Look at all of the information. Look at all of the thing that you've just mentioned about things being close in Lincoln. So I'm sat in the centre of the city, the campus, with the Student Services Department just over there, but you can't see because there's a wall. The Alfred Tennyson building just other than that, and the Minerva building to the left of that. 2 minutes behind me, just off campus, as you mentioned, is a university managed building called Viking House. So 2 minutes off campus there. 5 minutes, 6 minutes down the road is 179 High Street, which is also next to the Sarah Swift building and the David Chiddick building. But then if we went down to the south and I walked off the campus down past yourself in the Isaac Newton building, which would then be past the new medical school building, we have to pass McDonald's, so we just might stop for a coffee possibly. The Gateway, which then goes on past the hotel, but we don't put the students in the hotel. Morrison's, and then to Valentine Court. It's a 10-minute circle there, including our on-campus student village of Lincoln Courts. I've just talked to you about some 2,000 bedrooms. And they're all in close proximity. So look at the maps, look at the developments. The vast majority of rooms are en suite, which is quite important to a lot of people, but we also have a wide range of different choices with different providers which cover different options for individuals, but also charges and rental prices that people can hopefully suit a wide range of budgets. So look at the information first so you can try and make an application that is suitable to you, and then we'll look at availability and pick up from there.
So if we've got students that have come through over the last couple of days, sort of Thursday, Friday, what sort of date have they got to make that confirmation? What sort of timeline have we got for them?
Well, they can take their own time within the UCAS thing. I usually say that I do block drains and leaky roofs, and UCAS is a different science to me. But students will have to refer themselves through the track system, which I'm sure you all know everything about. And there is no timeline. However, the university is offering a guarantee for clearing applicants that if you confirm your place and make an application for accommodation by Wednesday the 19th of August, midnight, you will be guaranteed a hall style accommodation place. So that's a deadline that we've got to be able to process people as quickly as we can and give them that opportunity to have an understanding that they will be guaranteed a hall's place. Can't tell you which hall exactly, it's across the whole portfolio that we have. But we do continue all the way through to intake. So in that sense, it's, in terms of accommodation, I think it is very important to be sure and comfortable with some of the decisions that you're making, and taking that time to look, understand, ask us questions at accommodation@lincoln.ac.uk. We've got people who look at our social media as often as we can. I think we're dealing with one person today who contacted our Instagram page at something like 9:30 last night, but our team know that it's important for people to get a response. The response might just be contact us in the morning, but we try to be available for as much as we can.
That's brilliant, because it is a very important time, isn't it? And where you live is really key when you come to university, and never more so. We had earlier a question about plans in place for sort of households and any changes that we've made with sort of the situation we're faced with COVID. Can you give some reassurance to sort of parents and students around? I know we will adhere to everything that is government guidance, but give a bit of a picture as to what we've got in place and how we've adapted whilst in these uncertain times.
So the principle that we're working on is that we are forming, as many universities do, are looking at how we support this, not necessarily manage it, but it is about supporting it, because people have a lot of concerns and worries about something none of us have ever faced before. So we will still be allocating our apartments as usual, the full apartments as we would allocate. We will be providing lots of information and advice about that government guidelines that, as we understand it, because we are forming new households. And that household will have to work together to think about social distancing and cleanliness and organisation. They will have to think about visitors, as we have to do in our own houses. So being able to manage that information between themselves will be really, really important. Thinking about then people who may well feel possibly ill during the time that they're here. There'll be lots of points of contact to let us know how we will then support the apartment. Again, advice will be provided. But in the main, we have to say that we are also responsible to manage social distancing and this challenge that we all have in as practical a way and responsible a way as possible.
It would be good. Yeah, sorry, Ben. It would be good to mention some of the activities that the residential wardens are planning. And Emma as well, really good to talk about some of the social activities that we're organising on campus to make sure that there are face-to-face opportunities to make friends and mingle with friends and meet people.
Absolutely. I think we've got, as a university, we have what we're calling online orientation week. So this would be traditionally sort of our week prior to sort of studies starting. And I think, as you will explain, then there's an awful lot of different moving in dates depending on your accommodation. But in the most, students will arrive sort of 9th, 10th, 11th of October, our sort of official start date, the 12th. And we've got activities starting from the 1st of October with freshers fairs, which are going to be virtual. But what we have got will be some on-campus activities, certainly during that first sort of autumn term, with sort of outdoor cinemas, LA. We've also got things like sort of TPs, obviously, we talked about those.
Oh yes, the TPs. We're so excited about the TPs. They're going up at the moment, and we're sort of creating this whole outdoor culture, aren't we? So you'll be able to get a drink, get food, meet with friends, and trying to create more outdoor spaces, and obviously with heaters. And Emma and I are hoping there's going to be fire pits so we can sit there with our hot chocolate and sit out and watch the night sky. Ben's looking worried. Ben's looking worried. But no, it's going to be fabulous, Ben. You can come and join us and have a hot chocolate, because I have to say, Ben is one of the most amazing members of staff who is always here and always supporting students. Is that fair to say, Ben?
Well, yeah, yes, just a well-managed fire pits will be a thing, but we wouldn't want them in and around our accommodation. There's a lot of people, and we need to. We sometimes are with the fun police, but actually safety is important too. So the residential wardens team live in apartments within some of the accommodation. They have their own apartments, so they're not in mixed apartments with the newly arriving students. But they're a point of contact that follows through with our 24-hour cover, that are there through the evening in the main to be able to follow up with people who've got concerns. They put on lots of different events that are just about people orientating themselves between each other. And our first year of working with them was really positive last year, that there are points of somebody who, I have a problem through the day, that we can just ask one of the team to pop in and see them 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, just to say, is everything okay now? And then we can keep that movement of information supporting people, as well as they do the things like board game nights and Jenga somewhere on the other. Somebody will tell me what Jenga means somewhere, but I keep hearing it. But
you don't want to play, Ben. It's for the young people. It's not for us.
I've seen
they're a very positive team to the student experience in their accommodation.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ben. I could talk to you all day, and it's always a pleasure to see you. Before we go, sorry, Emma, you were going to ask another question, weren't you? Our last question for Ben.
No, I was just obviously, I was just going to ask you, you live now in the city, so tell us what the most favourite thing you do, and what's your favourite part of Lincoln?
Well, my favourite part of Lincoln is the Brayford Pool, which is a bit odd because it's where work is. But I certainly enjoy walking around the Brayford Pool, because once you get onto the other side of the bank, which is behind Ellie, that you can then look back to the university which has some quite stunning views, especially of an evening. And then all the restaurants and bars that are over on that side, it actually just makes it a really pleasant walk around, and that's my favourite part of the city.
It is. It's really beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Whichever part of the year it is, there's something quite unique about that Brayford Pool.
I know, it's either watching the cygnets being born, or watching the otters at the moment, or having ducks quacking at you. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a very insistent duck behind me who keeps coming along. I don't know why, but yes, it's a wonderful place to be. On that, we probably should say goodbye. Ben, it's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you live tomorrow, because we're doing this again tomorrow. So if anyone's got any questions, they can do either a face-to-face with Ben or join us live tomorrow. So bye, Ben, and Emma. Where are we going next, Emma?
No, where we're going now is just down the pathway on campus, on this side of the campus, because I think we've talked about the railway line in between our campuses, and we're going to the sports centre. Hi, Chi-Chi, you're in the sports centre. Hi, tell us what's happening in the sports centre.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Emma. Well, as you've mentioned, I'm in the sports center on campus. And yeah, I'm right now at the reception area, as you can see behind me. Well, just to my right, you walk through the doors to enter the sports center. But before you even enter our sports center, you see our great and huge outdoor pitch that we've got just outside of the sports center. And if you walk just to my left, where you can see the gates, once you pass the gates, there's stairs which lead you to our fitness studio. So if you're upstairs, there is the fitness studio, which is fully equipped like any other fitness studio, a commercial one that you'd go to. However, as a student, I would actually suggest to make use of the university's fitness studio, because they are nowhere close as busy as those you'd attend or you'd go to in the city. So it is really nice. You never have to wait for any equipment, usually, to be free, so you can actually get your workout done really quickly than in any other fitness studio. That is my personal experience anyway. But we've also got we've also got some several rooms upstairs where you can, for example, for our dance society, karate society, etc., where they can practice their sessions and anything.
And you used to play volleyball, didn't you? Is that right?
Exactly. So I spent most of my times, if you just walk straight down this corridor, you will enter the sports halls and the court. So they can be used for various sports. So it can be football, basketball, badminton, but also volleyball, which I played. I played for the Bucks ladies team. And yeah, one of my best memories from university were in that sports hall, actually, when I was on court playing for the university, and I was being cheered up by so many people, 50 plus people, just like screaming your name and cheering up for you just so you can win something for the university. It is amazing. We've got places for people just to watch and to cheer up for any sports teams who are playing. But
because part of our ethos is very much one community, and we're very much about being a home from home, and students are involved in every single aspect of the university. So, and we're voted the friendliest city. So a lot of people talk about how friendly Lincoln is. Was that your experience as a student, Chi-Chi?
Absolutely. Well, I came to Lincoln and I was just meant to stay half a year. I came as an exchange student from Austria. But yeah, as it is, like, there is such a one community feeling. It is such a welcoming campus. I was absolutely shocked. It was nothing like any other university experiences I had. And well, as it happened, I asked if I could stay. So I transferred. So I left all my family and friends back in Austria, and I decided to stay here. And I've been here for over 4 years. So I don't have to say anything more than that. I was just meant to stay 4 months, and now I've been here for 4 years. So yeah.
So what's your favorite thing to do in Lincoln, Chi-Chi?
Oh God, Ellie, I can't pick that. I was thinking about just to pick one certain thing, but as I said, in the last 4 years, so many buildings just popped up, so many accommodations popped up, so many opportunities to just go out and do any activities you'd like to. The most recent ones was we got an escape room and everything. I've tried it. It was absolutely amazing. There is so much to do, but I think it is amazing that as a city, it is still so close to nature. Just being able to bond with nature. If you're stressed out, you don't have to take a train to go somewhere just to switch off and be in a park and go to the lakes or whatever. You just walk half an hour, or you just cycle for 10-15 minutes outside of Lincoln, and we've got great bike hire schemes which students can use. It is absolutely amazing. You can just switch off, and once you've basically bonded with the nature and you've switched off, you've tanked so much energy, you just come back, you continue your studies, and yeah, I couldn't pick anything over that.
And as a student from Austria, Chichi, what would your advice be for international students who are perhaps a bit nervous about coming to the UK, or wondering how you fit in and how you make friends?
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said, I came here just to stay for just 4 months, and the support that I received, and everyone was so welcoming, and we've got so many opportunities to support our students here, and any international students coming from outside of the UK, they should not worry. I was worried about my English skills myself. We've got an English language center. They teach you from how to write assignments to how to learn the British culture and how to differentiate between the different accents. So you can learn anything and everything, and they support you with if you've got any errors in your language. So you just always continuously improve, and you learn so much. And I believe I've taken any opportunity and any services that the university was offering, and I don't regret that at all. I've joined societies. I was a committee member as well. So from just starting being a team member, I worked my way up to being a committee member in the Volleyball Society. So there are so many opportunities, and those opportunities, I'd also like to mention, are not just for your student experience. Anything that you go through at university and any opportunity that you take, it does prepare you for the outside world.
Absolutely.
I think that's a really good point. Sorry, Emma.
No, I just think I'm inspired by your story, actually, because it's very brave, but thank you, because it really, absolutely, I totally agree with the comment on the side there. Coming for 4 months and you're 4 years later is absolute credit to Lincoln as a city and as a university, I think. So
yeah.
Really
and
good.
I think what we do is that basically from day one, even if you're not thinking about your future career or what's going to happen, we genuinely are. We have an amazing careers and employability team who from the very first year are helping support students to prepare for a future. And those links that we've got with amazing companies like Siemens that you mentioned earlier, the links with The Guardian, Thomson Reuters, list goes on and on, but they're really important for helping students be prepared for getting a really good career. Sorry, Chichi, what did you want to say?
No, I absolutely second what you've just mentioned, but I've also seen a comment just on the side asking how 4 months became 4 years. So I came to the University of Lincoln through the Erasmus scheme, which most students will hopefully know. It's the student exchange program, basically. So you go to a different university within Europe for just a term, for just 1 semester or 2 semesters. So
that's open to our students as well.
Exactly.
So home students who want to go to Europe can go abroad.
Yeah, so I was studying in Austria for 2 years already, and then I came here to just spend 1 term, 4 months, 4 to 5 months here. And yeah, when I once came here, the facilities, and because I did media production for my undergraduate studies, the TV studios that we had, they were huge. We have 2 huge TV studios, and they are basically equipped on BBC level. So you learn anything in the galleries, on studio, behind everything so well. And I never had that university experience that I was being offered anything to be prepared to just go outside to the professional world and not struggle with any equipment or anything that is actually being used when you work in the industry. So
and our facilities across the board are really, really good. We've invested £100 million in creating amazing new facilities. So we work really hard to make sure across the board, whatever your industry, that you're working with the equipment and experience and professionals that you would be working with in that industry, because you need to be prepared for the future.
Exactly. And one last thing that I would like to mention is the university doesn't only offer you opportunities just on campus. During my postgraduate studies, I had to do a placement for my MA in journalism, and as it just appeared to happen, I went to Paris. So I applied for a placement in Paris at an English-speaking radio station. However, as most of us know, Paris is a really expensive city. So I could not really afford, even if it was for the 2-3 weeks, I could not afford the 1.2K for accommodation only. So the university did provide me with funding in that way. And without the funding that I wouldn't have received from the university, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to Paris and to complete my placement in Paris. So it was, again, it's endless, the list of opportunities and the support you receive from the university. And when I say I think I made the most of anything that they were offering, I really stand by it. So yeah.
Yeah, Chi-Chi, you did make the most of every opportunity. That's really true, and it's so good to see you doing so well now. And we're very proud of you as one of our students. And we've got 100,000 alumni around the world who are our best advocates and our little Lincoln army. So wherever you are in the world, you can link up with our alumni hubs and find out more. Now, I think we're going to say goodbye to you now, Chi-Chi. It's been an absolute joy to speak to you today. We'll see you again tomorrow. I hope you're going to join us tomorrow.
Yeah, I will be there. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing you both and everyone else who is basically listening and watching us as well tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Chi-Chi, and goodbye. And anyone who has got a question for us, please do post it. Hello, Theo. Is there somewhere I can find a virtual tour of a particular department? I'm interested in architecture. So there are virtual tours on the Virtual Open Day website. So I'll get Darren to repost the link through to the website. But I would also recommend, well, I know Emma will recommend that Theo books, I'll let you answer, Emma.
But yeah, what I'm going to say is the reminder for everybody to book your one-to-one with an academic. So go speak to go again at the bottom of this, go to book your one-to-one with an academic, and then they will be able to, because there are some 360 tours, so that you can actually feel as though you are inside these buildings. I appreciate there's a limit when you can't come physically, and we're doing everything we can to ensure that you can see where you will be studying in October, because we appreciate that's what you need to know. So yes, Theo, please. Thank you, Darren, or whoever has just done that. Click those links, Theo, and then we can help you out with that, because we want you to be as prepared as possible.
And choosing a university is really difficult, and we always advise our students to try and go and visit to get a feel. So as Emma said, because most people can't do that at the moment, what we're doing is we're trying to bring Lincoln to life for you, and Emma and I are trying to give you a real sense of what our ethos here at Lincoln is and what it's like to be a student, and how we approach it. It won't be for everyone. Lincoln is a very popular university, but find the university that's right for you. So we're trying to give you a feel for what it's like here. And if you do want to ring our adjustment and clearing line, then please give us a call on 0808 164 4444. So that's 0808 164 4444. And that's manned until 3 o'clock today. And tomorrow, Emma, I think it's manned as well. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. So the clearing line is manned from 3 o'clock today, like you said, and also between 10 and 2 tomorrow. In addition, we've also got the ability, if you don't want to ring or the phone lines are busy, then please contact us via social media, because we can also make offers via social media as well. So please do that, because there is endless opportunities to be able to get your application through with us.
I have to admit, Emma, since you mentioned the red arrows, I keep looking behind me, and every time a seagull flies across, I'm like, oh, is that the arrows? Are they coming back?
I don't know their timetable today, but they'll definitely be coming back at some point. And how lovely would it be if they were just a flight, because their flight line is literally just over the cathedral. So it'd be so lovely. Literally where you're sat, you often see them, but that would be too much. A little university flyover, wouldn't it, today by the red arrows?
If anyone spots them behind me, please tell me. That would be really cool. Now, we're going next to Marvin, I think. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, we're going over to the library, which is pretty close that way to me. So morning, Marvin. How are you?
Morning,
I'm all
Marvin.
right, thank you. Enjoying
There you
being
are.
back here. Always glad to be back in the library. I know most people won't enjoy hearing that, but I lived here as a student. So I was a business and management student, and so when it came to the library, it was key to everything I did, and a lot of my friends and a lot of the people I knew, we all worked here together through these facilities. The library is 4 floors that are award winning because of everything that they offer. When it comes to the technological resources available for the PCs, Macs, ICT suites, everything that you need from the isolated spaces where you can sink your teeth into whatever project you're doing to the more open spaces where you as a group can bring projects alive. It was one of the best things because as a business student, we had a lot of entrepreneurial activities and we had a lot of different engagements. And when it came to teamwork, we really needed those spaces, those big screens, so we could really argue projects into existence. And then those spaces
Real
were,
life projects.
you know,
And did you spend much time in the library then, Marvin, as a student?
well, the one thing I love about the place is that it was open during exam times, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I am of the nocturnal folk. Me, at 2, 3 a.m., I was the most creative person you'll ever meet. But I get that that's not everyone's working time. So there was times at around 6 a.m. when I was kind of ready to go to bed. Some of my friends were coming to start their day, and would walk in and we'd cross paths. And that's the most amazing thing about this place. It was really just something for everyone, and the support in the university is also in the library was also amazing. But yeah, I loved it, still do, and I'm happy to be back.
For any students that, I think it's very key to sort of highlight for any parents watching that libraries are not like they were when we were studying to receive our A level, for our A levels. That was a long time ago. Degrees. I recall it was literally going to get your textbooks and having a huge bag, but that's not the case anymore. There's a lot of online resources that I think, Marvin, you've just sort of referred to. Also, if you sort of want to just turn your screen slightly, you can see how we're starting to prepare for our students to come back onto campus and make it very safe for them. So do you want to explain what's there and any sort of changes that we've made, any adaptations we've made for our students for this October?
Yeah, absolutely. As you can vaguely see, there's a dot on the floor, and they're well put out signage for people to social distance, for people to follow a certain one-way rule system in place, and there is hand sanitizers and a number of different actions and things put in place at the university, including having separated the desks out a bit further, so there is definitely enough space in between students, and just everything possible, as well as cleaning regimes and everything possible to be able to make it safe for the return of students and to be able to do.
Yeah, you said there was additional enhanced cleaning regimes, Marvin.
Yes, as well. So to make sure that during the day that it's being cleaned, and as well being asking all the students who use it to be to clean it themselves, and just a number of different things to make sure it is safe and that this will be as amazing as always for people to use, especially if you spend a little over 24 hours in this place.
I'm sure. Also, Marvin, tell us, you graduated a couple of years ago, I think you told us earlier, and when Chi was talking to us, she gave us her story that she came from Austria for 4 months on an Erasmus programme and is here 4 years later. Tell us where in the country you came from and why you chose Lincoln. Why was Lincoln on your radar?
I wasn't as far as Austria, but I came from down south, Colchester. Woo.
Bring up the Colchester. Yeah, hi Essex.
Yeah, God. Yeah, I do. I love Colchester, I love home, I love everyone there. But I just saw the opportunity to come up to Lincoln, and although Colchester is quite like a half an hour away from London, and all its activities and everything there, I saw that Lincoln had pretty much everything you'd want in London and more, really, but in such a nice enclosed space. So it wasn't. It's busy, but not too busy, and you have your kind of calmer country life, and you have all the walks, and the coast is an hour away from here. They just had so much to Lincoln. The more I looked into it, the more I was hooked, and once I landed, that was it.
Fabulous. So just before we leave you, because we're getting to sort of 11:45 and we've got to go and visit our student leaders again, you had quite an exciting, well, as a university, it's been a very exciting week, but you had a particularly exciting interview that you took part with as an alumni of the University of Lincoln on Wednesday afternoon. Do you want to tell us who you interviewed?
Yes, I got the opportunity to interview Wes Nelson, the Love Islander. It was amazing. When I say getting the opportunities at Lincoln are endless, as a student, I now get to work for the university and interview the likes of him. And he is literally what it says on the tin. He's brilliant and so honest and really nice, but also he helped, one, describe how amazing Lincoln is, two, put a gold stamp on the nights out, which I would second. Three.
Well, he even asked you out on a night out, didn't he? Where's? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. He also spoke about how, because when he landed in Love Island, didn't know anyone, so it could have been, it was nervous, but how to make friends and how to be, how to engage people and how to go forward. And I was nervous when I landed here. My parents drove 150 miles up and then decided to leave me here. I don't know what they were thinking, really, but it was amazing. And I made some of the best friends for life here, and he helped talk about how to make friends. And yeah, was amazing, and really is a talk that you should see. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. That's a very key point. You can still watch the interview, so please go and watch it. It is at the bottom of this stream here, so go and have a look at that. But absolutely, I think it's really key that it is okay to be nervous. And I think that's one of the key points out of that. You've mentioned, that first, as your mum and dad sort of left you to go back to Essex, it's sort of an exciting nervous, and I think that's good. It's good to have.
It was really exciting, but the thing that I think was the most amazing part was I was a nervous wreck about to meet everyone, and it was that transition from the first few nights of I don't know anyone, I don't know what I'm doing, to these people have become family. Like after the first few nights out, the connection we made, the connection we have still is amazing. And although some of us are now all over the place as well, because opportunities are endless. They are still family to me. So that transition was amazing.
Thank you, Marvin. Thank you. Thanks, Emma. I'm going to move us on only because we must have time to talk to our student leaders. So, Marvin, you summed it up really well. We'll say goodbye, and we will see you tomorrow, same time.
See you tomorrow, same time.
Thank you, Marvin. That's great.
Emma, who are we seeing next?
So we are meeting Amina, and we're also meeting Lucy. Now, Amina is our international, hi Amina, our international officer, and Lucy is also here. So tell us what you do, role. I think, Lucy, you're in the Tower Bar, which is one of our drinking establishments, and Amina, you're in the reception of the Students' Union, aren't you?
Yes,
before you answer, sorry, Lucy, I just want to answer. We've got a question from Tanisha Thummer. Tanisha, All lectures are online, so big lectures. So for social distancing, we won't be filling up the lecture hall that Emma's in, but workshops, all of those practical things will still be face-to-face. They'll be with PPE, they'll be in line with government restrictions, but we are going to be delivering face-to-face teaching to all students. So you will need to be here. And also for everything that Lucy and Amina are going to tell us about, you are going to be here to take part in all the social activities. So sorry, Lucy, back to you. Just wanted to answer that question.
No, thank you. Yeah, hi, I'm Lucy. I'm the Vice President Wellbeing Community here at the Lincoln Students' Union. I'm here to just ensure that all students feel supported in their wellbeing, which we know is really crucial at this current time. So I work really closely with the SU Advice Centre and also University of Wellbeing, and I have a network of brilliant volunteers that I've just set up, which is the Wellbeing Network, and we're all here to support students and ensure that we can deliver exactly what they need. We also have, other than myself and Amina, we have 3 other sabbatical officers. So we have Georgia, who is our Vice President Education. She is also our Honorary President, and she just is amazing when it comes to education. She knows everything. She's a font of knowledge, and she has a brilliant network of school reps who work closely with the SU and the university to ensure that everyone is really getting what they can out of their course and are striving to achieve academically. We have Bailey, who is our Vice President Campaigns and Environment, and she is just so unbelievably passionate about all things environmental, and I know has some great plans for this year. She also heads up our campaigns network, which is where all of our liberation officers sit. So that includes like our women's officer, our BAME officer, our LGBT officer. And then we have Abby, who is our Vice President Activities, and she works with all of our sports and societies. So we have just about 200 sports and societies, both academic and non-academic societies, and competitive and non-competitive sports teams. And she works really closely with all of them to ensure that they're getting everything they can out of the year.
And you guys are a really amazing and inspirational team. But before we move on to Amina, have you seen the otter yet?
No, they're not here yet. So we have a lovely family of otters that swim about just in front of Tower Bar. But I think they must just like Bailey, which makes sense. She is our Vice President Environment also.
Oh, I know. I think they know, and they come out just because she's the wildlife officer. I'm going to see them today. I'm determined. But Amina, hi, welcome. Lovely to see you. Tell us what you do, and then I'll ask you another question. Actually.
All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Amina. I'm the Vice President International here at the University of Lincoln Students' Union, and basically, I just ensure that international students have a proper and smooth transition into the Lincoln community, and also to help integrate home students and international students through our International Students Association, which is also known as ISA. So basically, every international student gets automatically enrolled into ISA, but you, as a home student, can also join ISA and then be part of our big community and help integrate everyone.
No, and you do some amazing stuff. There's trips all over the UK. Emma was talking earlier about how close we are to Leeds and Nottingham, and less than an hour to most of these places. Leicester, there's the, you say, Emma, because I'm going to get it wrong, the airport distances.
Oh, yeah. So East Midlands is probably about an hour away. Leeds Bradford is about an hour and a half. We've got Birmingham less than 2 hours away. So actually we're in quite close proximity, aren't we, of sort of the major airports. Yeah, it surprisingly doesn't take long once we land to get to Lincoln.
And Amina, what about you? Why did you come to Lincoln? What's your story? Where are you from, and what made you choose Lincoln?
So I came all the way from Ghana, which is if you come in by direct flight, that would be 6 hours. But if you're going to go through transit, it could take you about 8 to 10 hours. Ghana is located in West Africa. And among my choices of universities, Lincoln just happened to have exactly what I needed, which had to do with like the course models, the location of the university, and the services and amenities that the university had. So it just came across as the best opportunity that I could get. So I hopped up onto a plane, and I found myself here. And a year after, I'm still here.
And how was it, Amina? I mean, was it a good experience? What's it been like?
It was a good experience, you know. I'm not sure I had been on a train before until I got to the UK. And yeah, until I got to the UK, and then I must say I did miss the airport pickup period because I came later, but I still found myself here. And my first experience was the fact that I missed my train because I didn't understand how to get onto a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
learning process.
exactly. Eventually,
Yeah. It's good to try and get the airport pickups if you can, really, isn't it? So you don't have to worry about things like that. It's far less.
exactly. You don't have to go through what I went through.
That's true. And Lucy, tell us a bit. We've been asked a number of times, what should freshers expect? What will Freshers Week be like, or Freshers Fortnight? What will that be like this year?
Yeah, so obviously we are aware that Freshers is a massive milestone in coming to university. It is what every student anticipates. And because of that, we are really working to provide a Freshers that works within government guidelines. Obviously, it's not going to be club nights every night, just because with government restrictions, that's just not possible. We're working really hard to create a variety of virtual and in-person events, from like sort of daytime events to evening events, for those that are very sociable and those that are less sociable, to ensure that people can still have a Freshers. Oh, we'll excuse the train. Shows how close we are to the city. And can still have a Freshers and experience a Freshers and make those connections that are so, so important.
That's true. And you've got virtual fairs going on, Freshers fairs. And what are they for people who perhaps haven't experienced that before, Lucy?
Yeah, so usually our Freshers Fair is held in the engine shed, and we have loads of different people come in and they have stalls and you walk around, and if it's the commercial fair, you get given lots of free stuff. And if it's sports and societies, you can speak to all of our presidents. So we're going to have a virtual commercial fair, sports and societies fair, and campaigns fair. So we're going to have all local Lincoln businesses and larger businesses on one. We're going to have all of our liberation officers on another, and we're going to have all of our sports teams on the third. They will be live from the 1st of October, and it's really fun because we're going to have certain days when they're actually manned, so you can meet the people behind the stalls, and our presidents of our sports and societies will be there to answer any questions you may have. And really, you'll get all the same information that you would usually get, but you can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. And normally, I know it won't be like this at the moment, and unless something changes, and we will adhere to all government guidance. But normally, what is Engine Shed like? What happens? What's the normal student experience? Just so people know.
Yeah, in times of not a global pandemic, Engine Shed is fantastic. So on a Wednesday night, we have Quack, and that is our student night. And I have spent many a Wednesday night in Quack and many a Thursday morning hungover, which I'm sure every student that has been through Lincoln can agree with. It is the place to be. We celebrate all of our wins of the weeks and our society and sports team wins. We also have loads of bands come and play, and we have comedians as well. In terms of bands, like, no matter what your music taste is, there is going to be someone playing at some point in the year that is right for you. And while obviously within government guidelines that isn't possible, we are working on virtual events and things that will really help with the student experience.
No, that sounds really exciting. And what sort of bands have you had? I've never heard of any of them, but there may be some people watching who might have.
Yeah, so off the top of my head, we had people like Blackstone Cherry, we had people like the Shires. I know we had Jedward come and perform.
Yes.
We had Ellie Goulding come as well.
So sorry, Emma.
I said over the years there's all sorts, and actually as parents there are some old sort of tribute bands or old bands actually that come along as well. I know some of my friends have been to sort of see the Jam and all sorts of things. So with parents watching,
big country. coming in October. I have to admit, this will mean nothing to Lucy and Amina, but I am so excited about Big Country coming. I mean, they were the first band I ever saw live when I was 15, so I can't wait to relive that one. Sorry, everyone. So we are getting towards the end of our time, so it's really important to say that look through the information below. The one-to-ones will be going on for the rest of today, and if we can't fit you in today, if you book a space, we will be in touch and be making those upcoming through the coming week. You can contact us with any questions that you've got, and we'll have our inquiry staff here. Emma and I and Lucy and Amina will be back again tomorrow, along with Ben Ball from accommodation, Chi and Marvin, our alumni even, who will be back tomorrow to answer questions. So please do keep sending your questions in. There are lots and lots of videos to watch. There are videos from Chris Packham, Clara Amtho from Radio 1. There are videos from Wes Nelson, all about what it's like to be a student here, as well as videos from our accommodation team and all the information that you could possibly require. So really, there's an awful lot here to look at. And Emma, what advice would you give to anyone who's perhaps still a bit worried about what they're going to do this autumn and whether or not to carry on with their adventure and where they should go?
I think it's the bits of advice I'd say is it's okay to feel a little bit nervous. That's normal. And everybody that we've spoken to this morning has absolutely verified that it is good to feel a bit nervous. But don't let your dreams drift away. You know, the university is here. We are here to support. So do your research, ask any question you can possibly think of, because we have the answer. And if I don't personally have it, then there'll be a member of the team, the wider team, that can answer it. And we are here all of the time to answer that. We can answer those questions for you and make those decisions, make that informed decision. And Lincoln can hopefully be the best choice for you.
And if you do want to apply, then give us a call on 0808 164 4444. That's 0808 164 4444. Our team are on hand until 3 o'clock today, and they will be here tomorrow. Is it between 10 and 2, Emma?
Tomorrow the phone lines are open 10 till 2, and obviously we'll be here tomorrow as well, so there'll be online sort of answers as well. So, and our social media team are working round the clock to answer any questions that you may have and offers as well. So there's lots and lots of support ongoing and into next week as well.
And can I say a huge thank you to Sulaj, who's thanked us, and say thank you for watching, Sulaj. And to everyone who stayed with us for the 2 hours this morning or dropped in, thank you very much for watching. It's a real pleasure to be here. And we will, all four of us look forward to meeting you this autumn and to welcoming you in the next stage of your lifetime adventure. And we really hope that you choose Lincoln, because it's a really wonderful experience. So we will see you in the autumn, or we'll see you tomorrow. So goodbye from all of us here at Lincoln.
Bye.